Chapter 2 begins with an introduction to the many characteristics that define retailers today. From there, we'll categorize the various types of food and general merchandise retailers. Once we understand the categories of retailers, we'll talk about the differences between service and merchandise retailers, and we'll wrap up the chapter with a discussion on retail firm ownership. There are over 1.1 million retailers in the United States alone, ranging from individual street vendors to international multi-channel retailers. There are 4 characteristics that define all of those retailers. And the first characteristic is by the type of merchandise that a retailer sells. For example, some retailers sell women's apparel. Other retailers sell car parts. Other retailers sell quick service restaurant food. All of these retailers are categorized by what we call a NAICS code. NAICS is an organization that classifies businesses and collects data on business activities. The second characteristic that defines all retailers are the variety and assortment of the merchandise they carry. When we talk about variety, it's the number of merchandise categories that a retailer offers. We also call variety the breadth of merchandise. When we talk about assortment, we talk about the number of different items offered in a merchandise category, also known the depth of merchandise. So to give you an example, when we talk about Target, they carry a variety of merchandise categories, from cosmetics to grocery, to paper products, to men's apparel, to women's apparel, children's apparel, entertainment, and more. Let's choose one of those categories at Target. For example, men's apparel. When we look at the assortment within men's apparel, we might find t-shirts, polo shirts, blue jeans, shorts, socks, shoes, and underwear. All of those individual items make up the assortment within the category of men's apparel at Target. The last basic characteristic that classifies all retailers are the services provided by that retailer. Customers expect that a retailer offers services, but they don't expect all services at all retailers. And that's why services are a good characteristic to classify our retailers. Some retailers have ample parking. Others accept credit cards. Some have childcare facilities. Some offer dressing rooms, and etc. The list of services goes on, and we'll spend a lot of time talking about those services later this semester. Let's move on to talking about types of retailers. The fourth characteristic is by the price of the merchandise. And let's move on to talking about food retailers. 20 years ago, which is well within our lifetime, consumers purchased their food primarily at conventional supermarkets. Today, supermarkets only account for about 60% of food sales. And when we talk about food sales, we're talking about grocery sales, not restaurants. So when we talk about supermarkets, there's really 2 types of supermarkets that we need to be aware of. The conventional supermarket is a large self-service retail food store offering groceries, meat, produce, and sometimes even non-food items, such as health and beauty and seasonal. Think about our Kroger here in Milledgeville and all of the different types of store offerings that they have. Normally, when we talk about conventional supermarkets, perishables account for over 30% of their sales. For example, the produce that's at the front of the store, or bread in the bakery, or milk. Conventional supermarkets carry over 30,000 different types of items in their stores. When we talk about limited assortment supermarkets, these supermarkets only carry about 1,500 SKUs, much less than a conventional supermarket. An example of a limited assortment supermarket might be Aldi, or Save-A-Lot, or even Trader Joe's. These stores are designed for efficiency and cost savings. Often the prices cost customers 40% less than conventional supermarkets. A couple points of differentiation of supermarkets among other types of food retailers. One is the power perimeter. When we talk about the power perimeter is all of the products located on the exterior walls of the store. So think about when you walk into Kroger, and you can do a loop around the exterior of the store and essentially get all of the necessities that you need in that grocery store. A second point of differentiation is private labels. When we look at Kroger, they often have more than just national brand merchandise. When you walk in the cereal aisle, you have Frosted Flakes, which is a national brand, and you also have a Kroger brand of those same type of flake cereal. Supermarkets differentiate themselves from each other by offering private labels. Experiences are often used as a point of differentiation in supermarkets, and this is experiences that are between supermarkets and also among different types of food retailers. There's a grocery store chain in the Northeast that offers childcare. When you walk into the store, you can put your child in the daycare, do your grocery shopping, bag the groceries, check out, and pick up your child on the way out the door. That is an experience offered by that supermarket that makes them different from any others. The second type of food retailer we're going to talk about are supercenters. Supercenters combine a supermarket with a full-line discount store, which we'll talk about a little bit later in this chapter. An example of a supercenter is a Walmart or even a Target. Supercenters provide a one-stop shopping experience for the customers. They can get both their groceries and their non-grocery items in the same trip. Another point of differentiation at a supercenter is that they're often able to offer lower food prices than a supermarket. General merchandise in these supercenters, such as clothing or cosmetics or other categories, generally have very high margins, and so Walmart or Target or other supercenters can make up for the cost of the low-priced food that they offer. A third type of food retailer is a warehouse club. Warehouse clubs are retailers that offer a limited and irregular assortment of food and general merchandise. Costco, BJ's, Sam's Club are all examples of wholesale clubs, warehouse clubs. These stores are generally large and normally located in low rent areas. We'll talk about why they do that later on in this semester. Because they're in low rent areas, they're able to reduce their prices because of their low overhead and often less customer service. They generally offer low prices because they do sell in bulk, and they usually are known for their free samples. Warehouse clubs can offer free samples, and they can offer low prices because they do charge membership fees. Those are normally annual for the customers, and you have to have a membership in order to shop there, which also gives the customer a feeling of exclusivity. We'll talk about convenience stores next. Convenience stores provide a limited variety and assortment of items at very convenient locations, hence convenience stores. You might have seen a Quick Stop, you might have seen a BP convenience store. Convenience stores are normally attached to a gas station, but they do not have to be. A couple points of differentiation among food retailers is that they have a very small footprint. Convenience stores normally have small square footage. They don't have as many SKUs, and they do have higher prices than other food retailers. The reasons they have high prices is because they give consumers the opportunity to make very quick purchases. The last type of food retailer that we're going to talk about are online grocery services. Online grocery services are relatively new in the food retail industry. When we talk about online grocery services, you might have heard of Blue Apron, Nature Box, Green Bean Delivery, or Walmart Delivery. Amazon.com also has a grocery delivery service. These services allow the customer to place a grocery order or a menu order online and have those items shipped directly to their door. This allows for convenience, it allows for timeliness, and even though prices are higher, consumers are normally willing to pay that because the food is delivered fresh and can be delivered daily or weekly or as often as you need it to be. So those are all the different types of food retailers that we talk about in this course. So here's something for you to think about. What will food retailing look like in 5 years? What will food retailing look like in 10 years? Are we going to still have this many food retailing types? And why or why not? When you think about the differences and similarities between supermarkets, supercenters, warehouse clubs, convenience stores, and online grocery shopping, that's a lot of options for the consumer. And so would it be better to offer more or less options?